Hey folks, Matt Easton here. So I came to a weird realisation this morning that I'm a YouTuber. Like, you know, sometimes in life stuff just happens. You just kind of drift along and you do your job and you look after your family and you get hobbies and you do things and you live your life and you travel, you go on holiday, all this kind of stuff. And you just kind of, it's easy to let life drift by. And as I've often said in the past, I have a day job. I'm not a full-time video maker. This isn't my life. This isn't exactly where I live all of the time. I do lots of other things and obviously have lots of hobbies. Some people would say too many hobbies. I wish, like, if I won the lottery, I don't know how many of you know what Euro Millions is, but if I won Euro Millions, I don't understand these people who win the lottery and then say, oh, well, I'm still going to keep working, because I don't know what I'd do with my time if I stopped working. Like, what? What the fuck? What the fuck? I just can't get my head around that. I literally can't squeeze all of the things I want to do. In fact, all the things I, to a certain extent now, have to do, I can't squeeze them into the time I have. It's crazy. I've got growing piles of swords. I've got growing piles of work. Literally, you guys know that I buy and sell swords, and maybe I have some kind of weird addiction. I'm sure I do, but it actually got to a point where I had too many swords, and it wasn't because I wanted to have too many swords. It was because I could buy swords quicker than I could clean them up and stick them on my website and sell them. I just don't have time. I've got a fairly engaging daytime job, and I run my clubs and I run events and I run the YouTube channel and I try and do research and I try and write books that I never finish because I never get time. It's just kind of crazy. I wish I had more time in the day, I honestly do, and I probably, even if I did win the Euro Millions and have all the time all the time available, including time to sleep as well, because that's important. I've been without sleep in the past when I had a baby. I didn't have a baby, my wife had a baby, just to clear that up. But when I had a small child, and it keeps you awake, and sleep deprivation is a killer, literally a killer. So get enough sleep, kids, that's really important. But so what was I talking about? Time. And being a YouTuber, there we go. So the thing which I just kind of had this realization, I think in the last week, maybe a bit longer than that, but about a week, I've suddenly realised I'm a YouTuber. What does that mean? I'm not a YouTuber. In my mind, I won't say what it is, but I am the thing that I do in my day job, plus I'm a dad. I have a kid, and obviously I'm a husband because I have a wife, and I'm a fencing instructor, and I suppose I'm a sort of amateur historian. I do research and try and publish stuff when I actually get around to it, and I'm these things, but then now I'm also a YouTuber. I never set out to be a YouTuber, and I think in the last week it's really hit me like a ton of bricks. That's a British expression. I don't know if it exists outside of Britain, but like a hammer in the head, it's hit me that being a YouTuber is a thing, and I never ever thought about it like that before. To me, I did all of these things, I shoot arrows and I use swords and I shoot guns and I do these things, and so I collected this knowledge and I wanted to spread some of this knowledge and share some of the knowledge before I die, because I'm so old. And I never thought about, I'm not a celebrity, okay, and I don't want to be a celebrity, but I never thought about the fact that when you put videos on YouTube, shitloads of people see them, okay, and that kind of blows my mind a bit. And I never set out to be a YouTuber, but I think in the last, particularly, I know people like PewDiePie, and I'll talk a bit more about PewDiePie in future videos, but people like PewDiePie are celebrities and are celebrity YouTubers and are YouTubers. But I think it's only for me, I'm quite, I tend to look to the ancient world. I tend not to actually take very much notice of what's going on in the current world. I find newspapers fucking depressing, and I only read them on the train if I've got nothing else to read. But I think it's only hit me in the last few weeks, maybe fortnight, 2 weeks, that actually there are lots of people out there wanting to be YouTubers and setting out and going, so, you know, I work in a cafe, or I work in a shop, or work in a factory, whatever I do, but what I really want to be is a YouTuber. And this to me is a completely foreign and bizarre way to think, because I set up a YouTube channel to talk about things that interest me. What did I want to be when I was younger? I wanted to be a swordsman. I wanted to be an archer. I wanted, you know, I didn't want to be like someone who makes like essentially amateur TV on the internet. So it's just bizarre, but whether for good or for bad, I've ended up, I suppose, I'm a YouTuber. I've only got, you know, what is it, 130,000 subs. It's not very much in the grand scheme of things, you know. Scalagrim's got 600 and something thousand, and obviously there are people out there with millions of subs, and they, in my mind, are real YouTubers. But obviously what I do has a very fringe interest, and I don't really fucking edit my videos very much, and I don't spend a lot of time preparing for them, or producing them, processing them, this kind of stuff. I tend to just have an idea and then quickly shoot a video, quickly edit it, and bam, and it's gone. But my ethos at the start was always, it's better to do more videos regularly rather than spend 2 weeks making a fantastic video. And it seems like, by luck, that actually works better in the modern YouTube world, where YouTube seems to prefer regular updates and not necessarily these kind of infrequent but very high production quality videos. But that's not what's driving me to do regular little videos like this. It's just because I have regular ideas and I want to get that idea down, and I really enjoy the dialogue that I get back from people commenting both under these videos on YouTube but also in places like Facebook and stuff. I really enjoy processing the ideas that come back from the idea that I've put out on the original video. And for many years, I don't know how many of you know, but for many years I ran a forum, the Scholar Forum, which still exists, but it's pretty quiet now. I ran a forum before sort of starting big on the YouTube stuff, and forums are brilliant as an archive, okay? If you want to find certain information, I still use the Scholar Forum. When someone asks me a question, I think, yeah, we found the answer to this, but I can't remember what it is now. Search on the Scholar Forum, there it is. You know, there's the treatise, or there's the answer to how this fencing instructor was influenced by that fencing instructor, or whatever. So forums are great, but there's a lot of background noise, and one of the great things about videos is that if you have an idea and you've processed this thought, you know, you've done this thought process and processed this thing in such a way that you want to put this idea out there, putting it in a video is quite a kind of monolithic, you know, it's like it's like carving a statue and sticking it there, and there you go, there's my statue, you can look at it. It's a bit like a book in that sense, but it's a lot quicker and easier than a book, and ironically more people these days see it than will see a book for the most part. Whereas on a forum, everybody's got an equal voice and an equal opinion, which I know in reality, in the real world, people do. But you might put a really good idea on a forum and it just gets lost in discussion and background noise and forgotten about. So I think videos are very, very powerful. But anyway, coming back to the original point, I have ended up being a YouTuber, and really all I wanted to say is, I suppose I'm kind of starting to embrace the idea now that maybe I am a YouTuber. Amongst these other things, I am a fencer, I used to be an archer, I am a shooter, I am a dad or a husband, blah blah blah. I am also, I suppose, a YouTuber, and I'm starting to get my head around this idea. And I hope it doesn't change anything about my videos in the way that what appeals to the people that it does appeal to already. But I guess I'm starting to think maybe there are some new ways of doing things that I should do to appeal to a wider audience, because ultimately a wider audience for me, and one of the reasons for doing this YouTube channel right from the beginning, was always to appeal to more people, to get more people interested in HEMA. And that's the point I want to finish on, is that the main reason I started doing, there are a few reasons, but the main reason I started doing this channel and focusing more on doing this channel was because I wanted to publicise HEMA. And some people in HEMA over the years have been a bit like, oh, Matt Easton, I don't agree with everything he says. Well, no, you're never going to agree with everything I say. Or I don't even agree with 50% of what he says. Or Matt Easton, what does he know? He hasn't won Swordfish recently, or ever. Or he hasn't done this, or he hasn't done that. That's fine. I have always said, you know, if you've got a problem with anything I say, make a video telling your point of view. You know, you put a channel up and get lots of subs, and you spread the word, and you put your... Anybody can do that, okay? The things I say on my channel are my opinions based on my experience of running clubs and doing HEMA for nearly 20 years, but everybody has different perspectives, completely and utterly, okay? But really, for me, this has been mostly about trying to get more people to know about HEMA. And no matter what you think of me, whether you think I'm the biggest asshole in the world, or you think that I talk that 25% or 50% of what I say is rubbish, ultimately this channel has succeeded in that. And I know for a fact lots of people in lots of clubs around the world doing HEMA thanks to this channel, and also channels like Lindy Beige and Scalagrim and Metatron and Shad and the other channels out there that are doing great work. So, credit where credit's due. YouTubers, we have a function, not just being YouTubers. Cheers, folks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Facebook. You can buy t-shirts through Spreadshirt, support us on Patreon, or follow us on Pinterest. Thank you.